guys, it's Jessica from Peace Love Books, and today I'm here with Tori, my bestie, Live a Novel Life on YouTube, right? Live a Novel Life? Novel Life. Which one's which? Okay. Instagram is
Live a Novel Life.
Live a Novel Life. YouTube is Novel Life, and we spent all day reading together yesterday.
Yeah.
That video should be out, actually, my Onyx Storm reading vlog, and then we have our podcast episode that should also maybe be out. If not, it comes out on Monday, and we both have reading vlogs on our channels for Onyx Storm. But today, we are here to chat about our favorite books that we are obsessed with right now. So we've read recently. Tori only has 3. Starting off 2025 with only 2 5-star reads, and then 1 from December. I have 5. So, but you've read 1 of them. Yeah. So get started. Okay. The first one is a book that I read, finally. I looked and I read the first book to the series in 2023. Did you read any of them last year? Or they were all from 2023.
They were all from 2023.
Well, it took me a while because they're sad, and I did cry very hard reading this book. But that is going to be, I always get the titles wrong, Keeping 13 by Chloe Walsh. This is the Eternal Embers edition with the dust jackets. Tori has them. I don't know if I bought the second set, but these are Tori's absolute favorite. And I finally read book 2. They're very long, though. I don't remember how long this one is. Over 600 pages. And this is about, I didn't tell you, I started talking about this in my wrap-up and I said Joey the whole time. And then I had to refilm it and I was like, why would they name them Johnny and Joey? That's so annoying.
Oh my gosh.
But this is Shannon and Johnny's story, and there is, this heavily deals with abuse, especially with Shannon's family. She has 2 younger brothers and 2 older brothers. It's her and Johnny's story. He's a rugby player, and they fall in love in book 1, and this is them trying to just like be able to be together. Very, very emotional. I cried my eyes out reading this at like 11 o'clock at night, and then you called me and you're like, you're really crying? And then I had to tell her about the whole thing. So it is so, so, so good. I am really scared to read Joey's story, who is the next 2 books. I don't know why I'm talking about this book, because like everybody's already read it and I'm the last one to read it, but because it's your favorite. So we'll see. But read this if you haven't yet, if you're like me.
They're so good. My babies. Okay. My turn.
Yep.
So I had to go back to December to pull my recent like 5-star reads because I only had 2 so far in January. Like I've read a lot of fun books, but none that like I'm absolutely obsessed with. So I picked this one, which is Stealing for Keeps by Rebecca Chin-Shack. You read this one, right? So this is Rebecca's first YA novel. It's her published YA novel. It's in Barnes & Noble, which is super exciting. And it has like pretty pink like soccer fields on the inside. And it has artwork, which is super, super cute, which I love so much. But this is like interesting, like, it's so weird because Keeping 13 is technically YA.
I know, and I said that because I read that and then that in my wrap-up. And I was like, even though Keeping 13 is YA, it definitely feels more new adult, and this feels YA.
Yes, yeah. And I know the grades are like different in like the UK and Ireland than it is here, but they're both seniors in this book, so that gives like context. And like Johnny and Shannon in Keeping 13, they're technically like
juniors.
She's a junior, he's a senior. He's a year older than her.
I thought he was staying though for another year, and she could skip a grade.
Yeah, okay, maybe it's not. I don't know what they are, actually.
The whole skipping grade thing did not make sense.
Yeah, I don't understand that part. Anyway, so they're seniors in this book, and she is a figure skater that is injured, and she's told basically you can't, like, professionally ice skate again. You'll risk, like, a huge injury. Are you really drinking right now? You'll risk a huge,
I can't break because you're talking.
A bigger injury if she continues to skate. And then our hero is the new guy in school. And the whole, like, romance starts with a dare at a party where he is dared by some of his other soccer teammates, because he's new in school, to kiss her. But he doesn't know that she is actually the captain's ex-girlfriend. So there's a little bit of forbiddenness there. But, like, he sees her and is like, oh, I'm interested in her. Like,
well, their meet cute was adorable.
Yes, yeah. At the beginning. Technically, it's like before school starts, they're like prepping sports stuff, and they run into each other when she's like getting glitter to help her cheer friends, and they call him Disco because he had glitter. He showed up to the first practice with glitter all over him, so they call him Disco. It is so cute. I love it. I was like giggling and kicking my feet while reading this.
Is Rebecca a soccer fan?
I don't know.
So she name dropped one of my favorite female soccer players.
I remember you saying that.
And I was like, she knows soccer.
She writes a lot of sports, though. So
no, I know, but she doesn't write soccer. Has she ever written soccer?
No.
No. Yeah, Sam Kerr from Australia is one of my favorite soccer players. So she said her name. Yeah. I was like, double take when I was listening. I was like, wait, she just said her name.
Yeah, but I love this one. It was so good. So good.
Yeah.
So.
All right, the next one. Tori is in the middle of reading this.
Yep.
And so I get to use her copy, though you're listening to it. Okay. It is going to be The Moon and His Tides by Gianna Darling. This is the gorgeous, like, ARC copy that she sent out in PR boxes. This is MMF. Very spicy. So, like, 10% and we already have, like, full-on spice happening.
Yep.
And this is Sebastian Story. So if you've read, you don't have to, but, like, all of Gianna's books are in the same world. So her Lombardi books are all about siblings, and this is Sebastian, who's the final sibling who hasn't had a book yet. And he's an actor, and we do go back in time for this. Oh, from the other books, because he talks about wanting to send his sister to be a lawyer. Which is...
Well, when Sebastian sees Elena in book 2, he talks about them.
Really? Mm-hmm. I've only read those once, and that was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Tori, you've read them 3 times?
Like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah,
I
the
love
anti-hero books, yes. Yes, so she's like knew their story from the beginning. And he is an actor in London. He gets hired as a driver for Adam and Savannah. And Adam is like his childhood idol. Like he's always watched his movies and loved them. He's an actor. And Savannah's not an actress, but she basically is like a kind of a manager thing for Adam. Like she's like, I can find the talent, like jobs for you. Like,
oh, okay.
Yeah. And so she's like, I'm the brains behind his career, basically. I don't know how much that is true. I would say it is. Sebastian and Savannah hook up. And then Sebastian's alone with Adam, and Sebastian's like, oh my god, like I'm the husband of like the married woman I hooked up with. And he's like, oh, my wife told me all about you. So it is their relationship, and it is so spicy, so good in London. And it's really good. And emotional, but it is a trilogy. It does end on a cliffhanger. And stuff's gonna happen.
The next book that I have to talk about is... Oh, I forgot I put my book plate in there.
Another special edition.
Yeah, All the Missing Pieces by Catherine Cowles. So this came out January 7th. It is a standalone in a new town, and it is very enemies to lovers. I would consider it hate to love. It's a true crime podcaster that comes to Shady Cove to, like, uncover a cold case, basically. And then she has, like, a thing with the sheriff, which he hates her from like day one. Yeah. They have like a really like a run-in, I guess you can say. I mean, there's a good reason he's grumpy. No, 100%, yes. But this is the like PR box edition that's all foiled. It's pretty. I like it. And she thinks that there's a cold case that's connected to a lot of other cases that she's been after for a potential serial killer, which is always my favorite. Yeah. But she like goes from like town to town in her podcast, but she goes from like place to place. Like she visits like the bar. Oh yeah. She has like the same whiskey taste as him, and like he gets mad that she has the same whiskey taste as him, and it's just funny because he like finds all these things to be like grumpy about, like her 3-legged cat that gives tooth hugs. Like he gets annoyed. But at the end paddle boards too. Yeah. So this is also a really good one. I loved it. Yeah. The audiobook is so good though. What's your next one? Should I go dark? I don't care what you do. Alright, we're gonna go dark. We're gonna go with Reena Kent, who I was very excited to read Reena because I was like, this is gonna be my year. And so with my Patreon, we read her Monster trilogy, and only one of them was 5 stars, but like overall the series is like a 4.5 star series. Oh, the cliffhangers in here are so good, and the romance is so touch her and you die. It is so good. So it's based. So the book I loved was Lies of My Monster, which is book 2, but it's like the whole Monster trilogy, so you have to read it in order. The premise is basically like Mulan. So her whole family was like slaughtered. She's like, okay. She has like an uncle, a grandma, and like one other person left. And so she decides to join the military as a man to try to track down who put the hit on her family, because she knows it was someone in the Russian military. And so she is a woman dressed up as a man. They all like make it really hard on her, and she's trying to prove her worth. And then she is placed with this like really harsh general, and that's the love interest. And he knows from the beginning that she's a woman. So he is like pushing her, and then she asks to like be sent with him to New York when he's going to go back to New York from his family, and she thinks that he has something to do with her family's death. So, and she's like his bodyguard basically in New York. Yeah. It's so good. The cliffhangers, you're like, excuse me, and then like the whole reveals at the end were really good.
So, I have heard this is like people's favorite by her. So, this is connected to the Deception series and a duet of characters we've met. And I'm going to read those. I don't love her new adult stuff, which I've learned. So, like, her first series, that's why I never read her again. But I'm excited to read more by her. So good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll read that.
Miss, I don't think Reena Kent's for me.
I know. It's
okay, you did say you didn't like romantic suspense, and now look at you.
Yeah, no, I don't like her bully stuff.
No, which is what I didn't like.
So
but then I read
that's
her
why I'm like,
mafia stuff.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the next book I have is actually a fantasy that I read. I listened to the audiobook of this, and I physically read it because it's on KU. So this is The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. Now, a lot of people will say that there is like a romantic subplot. There is not. As a romance
Is there a
reading,
romance?
No.
There's a glossary?
Yeah, that's all the characters.
Oh God, there's a cast of characters.
So I immersive read this book, and I really, really loved it. It was like, it's very dense, it's very heavy, it's in its own world of Duna. That's like the world that she created, like the earth, and then there's a map at the front, and there's like all these different kingdoms. She took a lot of like Japanese myths and Japanese like ancient history and put them in here of like women and stuff like that. But one of my main reasons of why I wanted to pick this up is that what people say is that it is about a woman being in a patriarchal society.
Mm-hmm.
And like everything that she goes through, from like leaving her old life behind to become a mother that's just supposed to take care of kids and have kids and be a housewife and stuff like that, and her story with that. You're following her and also her son's story, which is interesting. So you get 2 points of view. So at the beginning, it's like you're like bouncing back and forth from those 2 points of views. But I love this book. I still think about this book. Some people will cry.
Did you cry? Okay.
No, I didn't.
I've seen some people say
I teared up.
That was like on everybody's list of like best books of the year last year.
Yes. I don't know if you would like this. I want to say yes, because it's not like Way of Kings heavy.
Yeah.
But I do think that you would like it.
Okay.
But it's one of those things that you like. It's easy to get into because it's not like a magic system or anything like that. It's like swords, and like the swords have power, and if you come from a certain family line, you have certain powers and stuff like that. And like they have like little tech parts of it too, like from outside of certain kingdoms, like they're more tech advanced than others. It's very interesting. It's a very like interesting world. And
is it a female author or a male author?
I think it's a female author.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming so, just the way that she
way
writes
you talked about it, I was wondering.
A woman perspective, or
she. Okay.
She did an amazing job with
it. Is it a
this,
series or just a standalone?
Oh, see, someone said this: The Poppy Wars Darkness meets the Last Airbender. Yeah, which I love. The Avatar: The Last Airbender. The elemental magic definitely reminds me of that. So I didn't realize that it was in the blurb. But what did you ask me?
Is it a series? Is it indie?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That got really popular.
Yeah. So she kind of left it open that she could write about other characters. But I don't know if she is. But it just says a Theonite war story because that's what they're called. It's very good. I really love this book. It makes me think. I love books that like that like have like a lot of depth into it. Okay, what's your next one?
I think I want you to read this next one. And Tori is not a why choose girly. She is trying. No. She's read some. And okay, but I think you would like it because it kind of gives
Is this a serial killer one?
Yes, it kind of gives like Mind F5s a little bit.
How many guys?
Not 4.
Okay.
So it's Why Choose. It's serial killer. It's Alexis Grace. Killer of Mine came out last year. Secrets of Mine comes out this week that this video goes up, and I think it's gonna be a 3-book series. So there's only 2, and both books end on a cliffhanger. But she's the daughter of a serial killer.
Okay.
You've listened to me talk about this plot, right?
Yes.
Okay. She's the daughter of a serial killer, and she fakes her death at 18 to get away from him, and then tries to, she like becomes a police officer and tries to become an FBI agent so she can take her dad down. And she's in this like seminar, and these guys are like, you're asking very interesting questions, and like, you're being kind of suspicious about like knowing certain things. So therefore, like super close friends work all together, and they end up like pulling her aside, and then basically like she admits who she is, and then she has to work on the case of tracking down her dad with them, and then falls for all 4 of them. And it's so good.
Okay, but are the guys like it's easy to differentiate them? Okay.
Yes.
Because that's usually sometimes when I have like I struggle with why chooses, like there's not like
there's a hacker with glasses.
Oh, okay.
So
I sold.
I mean, there's like the kind of like jokey, fun one. There's like the grumpy leader, and then there's like the super tortured one, and then there's the hacker with the glasses. And it's so good. It's so good. The cliffhangers are so good. The suspense is so good. The twists are so good. No, they're like 300 pages. Yeah, that's really good.
Interesting. What was your last book?
My last one is Burn the Wild by Ava Hunter, which is a small town romance. You haven't even read the series yet.
I told you no.
Okay. Well, this is a small town, more romantic suspense than, I mean, I feel like that's what her first series had, some suspense in them.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we read together. This one is a country singer, and she is like basically like hates life. She like is going through the motions. She's like burnt out, and her manager keeps on like pushing her and is like, you need to do this, do this, do this.
Yeah.
He's like, now we have a residency, we're gonna go do this, this. And she's like, I can't. And so her opening act is actually one of the brothers and from the ranch, and it's like all these brothers who run a ranch together. And so he is like, hey, like, you are not okay. Take my car, go to my ranch, go to my brother's ranch, like, go. Like, you just need to disappear for a little bit because, like, you are, like, gonna kill yourself at this point. So she takes the car and drives, and Ford is a very grumpy brother. He was a professional baseball player, and he had his heart broken, and he has depression. He actually is on medication for depression, which I really like the male character having that, because he talks about, like, he's done therapy, he is on meds now, and, like, he's great. I mean, not, like, great, but, like...
Can I read it as a standalone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so she is just trying to, like, live. And there are trigger warnings for suicide in this one, so just know that before you read it, but it's really good. And they fall in love on a ranch.
Adorable.
Yeah. It's good. Might read that one, too.
Is that out?
Comes out tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
read
the
these
books. Those are the books we're obsessed with, so go read them.
Go read them. And they'll be linked down below, like always. And check out Tori's channel. It's linked down below. We have a couple other videos we're doing together, so check them out. And listen to our podcast, because there's a certain book not on here.
A very anticipated book that is not on here for a very
Now we seem to be the only people not to like, so...
Yeah.
Sorry. If you've made it this far, leave me a moon emoji for The Moon and His Tides by Gianna Darling. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.